Hey everyone, thanks for your support in 2024. We have a lot of cool stuff coming in 2025, and here are some of the things you can look forward to as we move into next year. In the lead up to The Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026, we'll be starting a full series rewatch of both The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett on exploring hyperspace lanes beginning in October. You can also expect a rewatch of Andor, and we will have reviews of every episode of Andor and the rest of the Skeleton Crew as those come out. Josie will be returning as we continue to rank every Star Wars thing released ever. Reviews of every episode of every Marvel Disney Plus show, including Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, The Eyes of Wakanda, Wonder Man, Ironheart, Daredevil Born Again, and Marvel Zombies, the day after each episode releases, will be available on Beware of Spoilers. We'll be having special event podcasts on 30-minute reviews for the Academy Awards, our 2024 year in review in early January, ranking all of Phase 5 of the MCU after Fantastic Four First Steps comes out, and our 10th anniversary special. Once we complete our rankings of all the Pokemon games on the backlog files, we'll be moving on to Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. Over on the YouTube channel, you can join in for playthroughs of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Pokemon White, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, Sonic Adventure 2, LEGO Racers 2, LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, and SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Want to keep on top of all the new things we have coming? Subscribe at mwpnews.com, subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/@mwpnews, or subscribe to Beware of Spoilers, 30-minute reviews, exploring hyperspace lanes, and the backlog files on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Again, thank you for your support. Good morning and welcome to the Backlog Files. I am Adam on this very chilly December 26th as we rocket toward the end of the year. I'm very tired today. I was up late last night playing a video game, and that's what we're here to talk about. It's nothing new. This game is 32 years old. Because I think it came out in 92, unless the second one came out in 92, and this came out in like 90, which is possible, which would make it the 35th anniversary. No. There's no way it came out in 89. I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know what year the original Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and there's a little background on me and where I stand with this franchise, especially, the early Sega Genesis days. I played Sonic 2 a lot as a kid. I had a Sega Genesis. I had Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I was born in 94, so I had Sonic 2. The point is, I played a lot of that. I never really got past Chemical Plant Zone ever. I wasn't very good because I would have gotten this when I was like 3 or 4 years old. And I never really got good at it. And there were other games for Genesis that really caught my attention more. And it wasn't long after that the PlayStation came around, and that once I got the PlayStation, that kind of changed everything. I had the Genesis when I was very, very young. No, I wouldn't have been 4 years old. But by the time I was 4, I had the PlayStation. So we're talking like 2 or 3 years old, maybe 2 to 4. I was playing this. But either way, the point is, I tried playing Sonic 2 as a kid, and I liked it. I really I was shitty at it, and I still really enjoyed that game as a kid. All of that is to say, I've been playing this series for almost my entire life, be it Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Generations, a little bit of like that fucking phone game, Dash. The Mega Collection for the GameCube that had like 3D Blast and all that shit. The point is, it speaks to how video games were made at the time that this franchise survived into where we are now with it. That we have a major motion picture starring Jim Carrey doing a direct adaptation of the GameCube game that came out like 10 years later. Or, not even GameCube. No. Adventure 2 was on GameCube. Adventure came out on Dreamcast. Or maybe Adventure 2 did come out on Dreamcast, and Adventure 2 Battle was the version that came out for the GameCube. And then, like, when you go on Steam and you buy it, you got to buy the Battle as DLC separate to get the full experience with Chow Karate and what was the other thing that was added in? The multiplayer mode. But regardless, I mean, really, you can't complete that game without paying for the DLC. Like, you can't 100% Adventure 2 on Steam without paying for the DLC, which is kind of fucked up. A similar thing was encountered when I bought this, because I bought the Origins collection on Steam because it was on sale for like $10 even, maybe 12. And I bought that, and I was like, oh, cool. And I think Steam has to do something about this, where it's like, the advertisement for the description of the game includes the description of the DLC. And the DLC is an extra money, and that's what gives you the full description of the game, not the base game. Because like the other one this happened with was Hitman World of Assassination, where it's like I've heard really good things about the freelancer mode. And I was like, oh, let me try that. And I saw the DLC was on, like the game was on sale, World of Assassination was on sale for like $3, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll try that. And then I'm looking and it's like, there's a bunch of add-ons. And I'm like, what are these add-ons? And it's like, the full version of the game is not $2.99. It's like, if you want freelancer mode, you gotta pay like $20. And I'm like, oh, well, no, I want freelancer mode. But whatever, it is what it is. Either way, the point is, when I played through Sonic the Hedgehog for the first time, which is what I ended up doing last night until about 2 in the morning, I was a little bit like, there are so many things in this game that feel kind of just a little, I don't know, off. Like, I wouldn't say the game is glitchy or anything, like, I don't think that's the issue here, but, like, I would say that the game is not, you know, well designed. Because, like, here's the thing. Let's just address what Sonic is. Sonic is a 2D platformer. And what sets it apart from other 2D platformers that were prevalent of the era is speed. Your thing is you need to go fast. You are the fastest hedgehog in the world, and it's all about going fast, building momentum, and using that to your advantage. Now, again, I played this in Origins, which means that I had some advantages that other people did not have when they played this game originally, such as Origins, if you play in Anniversary mode, which is what I did, you don't die. Like, you cannot die in Anniversary mode. Or you do die, but you have infinite lives. Like, you gotta go back to the checkpoint. Which was helpful, because I died quite a few times. Not, like, once I got to certain levels, it was like, okay, I died, okay, whatever. And it's like, especially fucking Labyrinth. Oh my god, Labyrinth Zone is fucking annoying. On top of that, like, yes, the game wants you to go fast, and the game is very clear about go fast, go fast, go fast. But the issue becomes, if you're, like, it kind of actively punishes you for going fast a lot of the time. Like, okay, you're going fast. Okay, great. You want to go too fast? All right, fine. Here's a blind object right out of that's on the other side of the view. And because the game, I mean, look, to its credit, the game does a great job of building momentum and maintaining momentum. Like, if you're running and you're going, you have momentum. You can't stop on a dime. Like, you do have to, like, kind of, like, slow down to a stop. And that is, you know, interesting. The issue that I have with this is, if you're trying to, you know, do a game where you gotta go fast, like, and I don't know what the answer is necessarily, because I'm not 100% how to do this in a way that, you know, still provides a challenge while not being a overly easy. What's it called? Go ahead, just keep. Are you gonna let me in, or are you gonna not let me in? Asshole. But yeah, I don't know how you would do that without, fundamentally changing what the game is. Like, because at the end of the day, it's like if you're doing precision platforming, I'm not 100% certain that this is the right avenue to do it. Like, because if you gotta jump and jump and jump and jump and jump, and you also have to dodge, like, there's, like, again, Labyrinth Zone, going back to that one, there are those fucking robots that hide under the ground, and there's a tell that you can see the little drill nose sticking up out of the ground. And it's like, that's the tell that they're there. If you get too close, they're gonna jump out, and they're gonna hit you. Okay, fine. Underwater, that's a lot harder to miss. And on top of that, the level has a lot of shit all around as just decor that puts it in a place where it's like, oh, well, I what's that over there? Oh, I missed that. Plus, again, if you're going too fast, there you go, you're going to get hit. But yeah, I don't think that, like, it's one of those things where it's like, if this game came out now, and we had no idea who Sonic was, or anything like that, and this game just came out now, I feel like it would not be well received. And again, I don't think this game could come out now. This game came out in the era of rented video games and stuff like that. Because, like, I remember back in the day, like, I played Sonic 2 a lot, but I also played Sonic and Knuckles because we rented that at we rented that at American Video. It was called a small. I don't even know if it was a chain. But it was, it's, I think it's a Dunkin' Donuts now, but it was a small video rental shop like a mile from my house. And we went in there, we rented that. We rented a Star Trek game too, I remember, but I don't remember playing it. Or maybe it was a Star Wars game, I don't know. That one I was really not good at. But it's like, it's, in the era of video game rental, I think it's a low-stakes conspiracy theory, and I think that there were multiple studios that were doing this in collaboration with, like, Blockbuster, but, like, make the game harder so that way someone can't rent it and beat it in one sitting. Because, like, that's the thing, is that when you sit down and play this game, like, I played the game last night, and not only did I play the game, but I got all the Chaos Emeralds, all 6 of the Chaos Emeralds. Because, again, there's only 6 in the first game, and no Super Sonic. So I got all the Chaos Emeralds, and then I get to the end, I beat the final boss, which is, like, it took a few tries, and I'm not entirely sure how you would do it if you didn't have the spin dash, which was not in the first Sonic game, but it is in the Anniversary Edition. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, looking back on this, I think that this is I wouldn't say it's a strong start. I feel like this is a game that if it came out now, like, I beat the whole thing in, like, 2.5 hours. Like, because I started playing at, like, let's say 11, and I had the whole thing beaten by, well, let's say 3.5 hours. I had the entire game beaten, including that. And that was with me, toward the end of the night, getting incredibly frustrated and being very tired. And I don't know if this happens to anyone else. If you play, like, if you get tired, you get more frustrated, and it's just kind of this kind of spin out that happens where it's like, you get worse and worse at the game, and then eventually you get like, fuck, let's move on. Like, that's kind of where I was toward the end of this. And especially with the special stages, oh my god, the special stages, where it's like, it's rotating. If you hit the rotate button, it's going to rotate the other way, and you can only jump because you're in ball mode, and you can collect rings to get more lives, or in this case, coin stuff like in the Anniversary Edition. But, like, it's one of those things where it's like, we are, like, that's frustrating too. And I just don't know what the point of that, like, there was no add-on, I don't think. Like, because you only had 6 of the Chaos Emeralds. I don't know if it was in the original game, but they kind of set up that you don't have all the Chaos Emeralds, and that's kind of important. Like, because from 2 on, it's always 7. There are 7 Chaos Emeralds, and there's the Master Emerald. And when like, there's a glowing in his hands, and then they all kind of go and scatter to 6. It's like, oh, okay, cool, bye, I guess. But look, I think there's definitely, this is a game that is, designed to get you frustrated, it feels like. And then especially, you go through that first level, and that first, when we talk about good game design, one of the best examples is Super Mario Brothers. You play Super Mario Brothers, that very beginning of the level tells you everything you need to know about the entire game very quickly. You can jump, you can hit the blocks, you can get, you can get mushroom to get extra life. If you see a little mushroom dude, jump on it, and you're good to go. That's the very basic of the game to get you going. Sonic throws you in, and you kind of just, you're going fast, and you're running, you're building momentum. And the first level is very much designed with that in mind. The entirety of Green Hill Zone is built with go as fast as possible, run around, hit shit, it's designed for that. And good, because that's what the game feels like it should be. Then you get to Marble Hill Zone, or Marble whatever zone, which is level 2, and you're like, oh, this is not that. Because then it's like, there's a lot of standing around, waiting to jump, and waiting for stuff like that. And then it's like Act 3 of Marble Hill Zone. You get to that point, and you're like, what the fuck? There's a jump there that I'm like, what, it took me 3 attempts to get past it, because it wasn't until a 3rd attempt that I realized, oh shit, and again, you couldn't do this in the original game, so maybe it is something that they edited for this to give it some semblance of additional difficulty, but spin dash, and you can just cross that gap, without having to worry about jumping. It's one of the things where it's this is a game that, if it came out today, like I said, in this form, I think it would have a small fan base of people who like retro platformers, but beyond that, it's not something that is, it's not, if you give this game to a kid now, and we're like, this is Sonic the Hedgehog, this is a great thing, get to know Sonic the Hedgehog, they get frustrated. Especially considering how annoying the second level is. It's one thing when you put these harder levels late in the game. Labyrinth Zone is the 3rd to last zone. Labyrinth Zone, at that point, you are at the end of the game. You have reached, the end of this. But, what, the thing that doesn't really, track about that is why was Marble Hill Zone so early? Marble, that should have been before Labyrinth or right after Labyrinth, because it's such a deviation. The Spring Zone coming right after that too is another thing that's why did you do this? Because it's it feels closer to the first zone. And it's but there are some moments where it's don't just rush through. This it's the beginning of teaching you hesitation. But that should come before Marble Hill Zone to teach you the virtues of hesitation in that. And that was the thing too, is that it's I think the other big thing is that it's there's no real. I mean, granted, I only ever beat the game this one time, and I never beat it without getting all the Chaos Emeralds. So it's I don't know if something happens if you beat the game without getting all the Chaos Emeralds. Maybe you can't fight that final fight against Eggman, but that would be weird considering the Chaos Emeralds don't do anything in that fight. It's just kind of happening. It's one of those things where it's I don't know. I feel like there's definitely, this is a game that, again, like I said, if it came out today, would not be particularly well received, I don't think, because there's a lot of little game design issues. And I think too, it's there's a certain frustration that sets in with this, where it's why, okay, I'm trying this, I'm playing the game the way you said to, because the game is advertised as being about speed and building speed and doing things fast and moving fast through the levels and stuff like that, and I'm being actively punished for it the entire way through. But we'll wrap up there for today. We'll be going back to Pokemon in the near future, but I played this last night and I wanted to talk about it. But until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.